Hey guys, how you doing? It's Deepak Shukla here from Pearl Lemon Crypto. Feel free to click the link in the description below to join our Telegram group, as well as just Google us and look us up. If you want to book a paid consulting call or onboarding call, then feel free to reach out to me over at deepakshukla.com. And what I want to do today is run you through how to make up to $1,000 a day from Orca. I want to begin with just running you through the platform, how it works, what it does, and all that type of stuff. So this is Orca. As you can see, I've got a $28,300 position here. I'm due to make around ultimately 1.9% per day based upon my current range. As you can actually see, it's just about to, let me just see if I can move this over. It's about to actually, it's close to going out of range, in fact, which means that the overall net value will go down. But this actual price tends to range between, well, it goes between a certain range, so we can come to talk about that in a little while. But I want to run you through Orca and what it is. So Orca is ultimately DEX, so it's a decentralized exchange. So if you're not familiar with decentralized exchanges, let's just go ahead and wipe all of this. Let me see if I can wipe it. A decentralized exchange is an exchange where you can fundamentally park all of your money effectively, and it's decentralized, meaning that there's no massive broker in the middle that's effectively a privately held company. This is on the decentralized network, means it's on the blockchain, and it's ultimately a company that allows you to invest your own money in a manner that doesn't go through a central body of governance, if you will. So it's all run through Orca, and I've probably done not the best job of explaining that. But anyway, in any event, it's a DEX, okay? It's a DEX. So then because of that, it means fundamentally, if you've got your money, if you will, you can deposit your money into a platform such as Orca, and you would deposit it on a 50-50 split, okay? Most people, so Orca's on the Solana network, and then if you're familiar with Solana, then I think it's a layer 2 chain, and it's known for less gas fees, fast transactions, all of that type of stuff, and I'll come to talk about some of these things more as we progress. But basically, you could deposit a fund of 50-50. So and then based upon that, people will go ahead and they'll exchange money, and every time they exchange money, you basically earn a small fee, and that's the way that you make money. Okay, so you'll make money down here, and then of course the actual volatility of the actual underlying currency. So this is Sol, which is an altcoin, to USDC, which is a stable coin, meaning it's pegged against US dollar. It doesn't really tend to fluctuate unless it unpegs against the US dollar. And then this is a altcoin, Sol, and this has some level of volatility. And based upon the balance in the pool, you will be subject to underlying, ultimately, impermanent loss potentially, which is where you can make money based on daily yield, but you can also lose money based upon the volatility of the two coins. So as we can see here, it will dynamically update. So it's gone down, for example, to 28,200 because it's depositing probably more and more as it depreciates more and more Sol into my bag. So if we have a look at my balance, it's almost all Sol. So depending upon what happens, and we can take a look at what happens, then let me just jump into here and we can take a look at what's going on. And there's different ways you can set this up, by the way. So that's that part there. As you can see, I'm earning approximately 1.9% per day, which would be $560 per day. So what you do is, whilst the underlying value depreciates, you need to look at the offset against the daily yield, and then also will the actual balance bounce back. So if we go ahead and have a look at what's happening on actual, so these are different pools within Orca, okay? So you can use ultimately Solana wallet. Most people tend to use Phantom wallet to use and to interact with Orca. And as you can see here, if I just go ahead and log into wallet that I've got here, you'll see that this is my wallet. I've got like $8 in there, and not a lot that's happening, but this is the wallet that you can then use to deposit into these pools. So the area that you'll look at, if we go ahead and look at Solana, as you can see, the 1 hour volume, 6 million relative to the total value locked, 29 million, 173 million, means that you're able to get that daily 1 to 2% potentially, depending upon where you set your range. So I've got quite a tight range, which is why fundamentally I'm able to ramp it up to that level. So let's go ahead and have a look at what's happening. And this is a 4 hour chart. So as you can see, if we just draw a simple, let's go for a horizontal line, a simple support line, you'll see that basically there's a decent level of support even here. I mean, I put it there. You don't really even need to move it as such, because you can tell that that's why the rationale is for, I beg your pardon, it's sitting along here. So as you can see, the price made a big move up, and now the price is beginning to retrace. So if we just dive in and take a look here, you can basically set your actual funds that you deposit in at certain ranges. So if you go ahead and have a look at this on a 3%, as you can see, based upon a 3% 3%. The price typically tends to stay in range. It stayed in range for 48 hours, which is more than enough to check it once a day and then rebalance as is appropriate. And on that, you'll also get 1.54%. So the reason that I've chosen to go a bit more aggressive, as you can see, I'm here, and it's probably going to potentially go out of range, and then I'll maybe wait a while, is that it there isn't 2.7 million pending yield, although that would be brilliant. Let's try and harvest it and see what happens. Let's see if we can take advantage of what is a potential software glitch. And yeah, as we can see, there isn't actually Orca coming out at that range. So let's have a look into the wallet and see if I indeed did get 2.7 million. I did not. So as you can see, sometimes there are software glitches where that type of thing does happen. So as you can see, I've gone out of range just for a second here, but the price is actually beginning to retrace. And then based upon it going out of range, and let's just jump into here and take a look at what's happening. As you can see, the price is moving up and then down and up and then down. This is on the 1 hour, and it's more than likely, depending upon what happens, to move down further still a little bit, but then retrace again. So depending upon what decision that I make, I can just leave it here to see if it does bounce back. And what you do is then look at the 15-minute, and this is a good example of how you could use Orca. And then you can see here it's probably likely to keep going down before it hits a point of resistance, which will probably be another. And let's just have a look at the percentage range here. If we just go from here to here, you see that that range is another 1.9% basically, 1.2%, let's say. Another 1.2% is likely to range out. So depending upon what happens, I could reset the range here so I get back into a place of earning yield once again. So that's something that you can do in terms of making decisions. So what you can go ahead and do, depending upon preference, is you can go ahead and rebalance. So because I think the price is going to range up again, as you can see, I've got entirely sold here. I'll go ahead and just rebalance. I'll close that position out. I'm just in Sol at the moment. You go ahead and rebalance. This is a good example of what happens in real time. Go ahead and rebalance. We'll dive into here. We'll do a refresh that refreshes the wallet. You can, of course, just fundamentally disconnect and reconnect, but I'll go ahead and look at it again. We'll go back onto the custom range. We'll go and look at it. So it's on a nice 3% now. We'll head over here. And as you can see, what I'll probably do is bring it up further still. That seems reasonable. It's not really gone above that range at the moment, and it's likely to reach back up to here again. It may well take a little while, so I'll go ahead and just move this down slightly. And then again, as you can see, I'm back on at 2.1%. I'll go ahead and do a rebalance. As you can see, I'm back in the $587 range. You can see that the fees here are quite low in terms of the requirement, if you will, because as the fees, when I say the fees in relation to the cost of moving the money in and out, because I want to stay within range, it's because of slippage. There's issues with actually putting the transaction through. We try again to see. Looks like it's going to let me in this time. Go ahead and jump over to the portfolio, take a look at what's happening. Jump into here, we've got $25,000 there. Go again, and as you can see, was up around the $28,000 mark and a couple of $100. We go again. So you can deposit upon deposit. It's now at $619. This is where you can begin to offset. Another 400. And of course, I'm still subject to the price dynamically changing right now as we speak. You can see I'm already beginning to earn some yield, which is what the incredible ultimately deal is with a platform such as this. And as long as you've got a strong view upon Solana, which I do, I'm happy to take the issues that come up with realized impermanent loss, if you will, because the position will again, of course, reverse. And I think the price will, of course, then more than likely head back up. We'll see what's left in here because it's $27,960, $72. We'll go ahead and deposit the final $72. $61. That's what it sees it's fit for. That takes us up to 28.21. Again, it reverted because of slippage. So I'll go ahead and hit the deposit button again. It's now at $58. It's no problem. And there you go. So based upon this range, I should be earning $600 a day. Still got $10 left in the bag. I'll go ahead and send this to a savings wallet that I've got. So we'll go ahead and just go to recently used, RS4, max. Shove that over to there, to my wallet that I'll keep for savings. And as you can see, this is a really good insight into how to think about this pool that I've set up here. So if we go ahead and again take a look at pools, we'll see the range that I've got now. So the range that I've got now is, and let's just do this. This is a cool little tool that goes 1 to 2. There you go, perfecto. You'll see the range that I've got here is 122.13 to 122.17. This is a new pool that's come up. This is something that we can talk about at a later stage. Total value locked, ETL. This is a splash pool. You'll be providing, this must be a new feature. It looks like the price is already dumped, to be honest with you. So there you go. Just curious to look at it. And that was a pool that you'd stay away from. I've not heard of it before. The volume's huge. Price is dumped. But if we have a look at the range that we're in right now, go ahead and take a look. So we're at 122. So we're at 124 right now. So it seems like it's small, 1.46%. But if we go and have a look at 122, 122.13, that's 122.05. So it's slightly higher than that, probably. And this is on the 4 hour. So assuming that it doesn't get down all that way. Let's have a look. 122. Let's go ahead and look at that. We go 122.13. And then it's at 127.11. 127.11. You can see that's the range that I'm in. So 122.13. So based upon this, it's more than likely to stay within range. More than likely for 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. More than likely for the next 24 hours. Else it will go up. And that will then allow me to get into a place where we can make the most of this yield. So this is Orca. There's no doubt a lot that I've missed, but this is the method of how, even with obviously the challenges that come with impermanent loss, you can still make $632 a day, because as long as I am bullish on the price staying within this range and ultimately returning back up again. So if we now expand up and zoom out, and let's take a look at this. So price has ranged around here all the way going back to the 11th of March. And if we go back further still, it's very possible the price can probably rise above it and get back up to the 140s where it's been several times. You can not only make the $600 a day that we've been speaking about, but you can get that right up to probably another $200 to $300 a day. And in this way, you can get this up to $800 per day. And this is how you can use Orca. If you've got any questions, please leave a comment in the chat, and you enjoyed the video.